care if you win a skin because she is taking her time today to do that while we run the event.
Yep.
And on Tuesday, I'm doing an extended stream for the new patch, and I will be giving out a Heroes of the Storm mouse and mouse pad to one lucky nerd.
So while you were chatting away about your giveaways, I was looking up the map rules just to see what this, because it seems like it's kind of different for a lot of the events. In this case, it is a coin flip to determine choice for first pick, first ban, or first map pick. So that means there is no strikeout process.
That's
so
how Road to BlizzCon works.
That is how Road to BlizzCon works. Yeah. So I was just confirming that that was the case. When I see Haunted Mines, I make that assumption that it's not a strikeout process for the maps.
Yeah, okay.
Indeed, that's not the case. So my guess, I can't really say who won the coin flip, but Temple Storm very likely has first pick. First pick, first ban, and they relinquished the map choice to the PLEYZ, which will be now played on Haunted Mines. So this will heavily affect the draft, of course. And I don't think I have any members from the PLEYZ on my
Aragi's in here now.
Pirate Rum. Getting in there. All right.
I should befriend these nerds.
Zeus? Is that right? Or is that a different team?
No, you're right.
Okay. Just checking.
Pirate Rum has said meow. Daihu has joined us. All right, so we're getting ready. Very soon we'll commence the first game of this best of 3 series. This is the winner's side of the bracket.
Yes.
And I need to tell myself this is the winner semis?
Yeah. Winner semis. I think winner's round 4.
Yes. That would be the same thing.
Lex Uther, Zeus, Aragi, Pirate Rum, and Daihu. That is the players that make up the PLEYZ.
And we are just waiting for the draft link. Most of these players are just waking up. I know Dreadnought was streaming late into the night.
What do we expect to see on the Haunted Mines? The Haunted Mines. Sylvanas banned very easily.
Yeah, Sylvanas is a very common ban, and so is Kerrigan. There's a few ways to approach this. Now, the reason Sylvanas is such a big pickup is because she locks down structures. If you just allow Sylvanas to push with your golem, you can solo push while the rest of your team defends. It's kind of gross.
Yes.
It's kind of gross.
Yes.
Like a 20 skull golem can outpush an 80 skull golem.
I'm trying to decide if this is a factual statement, but Sylvanas might be the most guaranteed ban for a hero on any
map ever.
Maybe the Vikings on.
I would give it to Sylvanas.
It might be Sylvanas on this map. Like if we don't see it, that's crazy. That's crazy.
And it's like a big advantage for going for first pick because you don't have to think about it as much.
Yeah.
Like you force them to ban Sylvanas, you ban something comfortable because if they're not going to ban Sylvanas, you're gonna pick her first.
All right, we got that draft link, boys. Teams are waiting to ready up, but you're right. So first pick can honestly take a couple choices. They can ban out if they're scared of the Zeratul / Illidan, they can ban out one of the two. Force the enemy team to ban out Sylvanas because they have to. They have to at that point. And in which case they're allowing themselves to take one of the two. Zagara, also very, very strong on this map. Allows for very strong pushing. And you'll see as we get into the game, oftentimes the splits for both teams are 4-1. You push heavily in the lane in which your golem pushes down to get that advantage. So we'll see what Temple Storm bans out. My guess, one of the two between Zeratul or Illidan. I lied.
Yeah. So this should be Sylvanas.
Basically not Sylvanas is what I'm getting at.
Sylvanas was pretty much guaranteed out of the PLEYZ. If they don't, it will be first picked. And
this could also be like they don't want to deal with promote on this map. Promote can be very strong as well. If you get 2 promotes on the team, that can be something that's difficult to deal with. There's like the PLEYZ have to ban Sylvanas. It would just be a giant mistake not to. If you give that to Temple Storm, that's almost GG right there.
They're thinking about it. They have to say, all right, well, if we don't ban Sylvanas here, we're going to give them things like potentially Kerrigan, potentially a lot of other big picks that are just strong in the early game, and it will end up being Sylvanas. Do you think they're going to go Jaina, Kerrigan? What do you think the route the Temple Storm will take
for first pick?
Yeah.
I don't think Zagar is a priority, although it's a strong pick. That'll be probably later on in the draft. Yeah, Jaina's fine. Just pick strong heroes. Vikings are still... It seems like the jury is out on whether teams like to grab the Vikings on this map. I haven't seen it played all that often, but like in theory it could work out really well. Hard to say, though. I think a lot of teams probably haven't practiced it all that much. because Automine is something you don't see that much in competitive play.
All right. Well, PLEYZ, if they want to get hyper aggressive, they could do something like Johanna Kerrigan right off the bat. Just a lot of lockdown, a lot of control on the fights. But we have seen a fair good usage of heroes like Illidan with Abathur here. You mentioned Kerrigan just having that vision, very strong hero on this map. And warriors are relatively highly sought after, like having Anubarak, Muradin.
Yeah. Anubarak is also quite good on this map too because of the beetle push, soaking up tower shots. That's good. You mentioned Illidan Abathur. I'd be okay with that. Zeratul Abathur. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, me too. Let's see if that's what they go for. The PLEYZ, they have Zeratul. Do they also select?
My guess is if they don't take Abathur here, Tempo Storm will ban it out.
Yeah, I would think so.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. We saw this combination picked yesterday. I don't think it won.
I didn't.
It did not win. I think there's a good reason we don't see both. You're taking 2 melee assassins, and it's kind of hard to keep both of them supported. Either whether that be through Abathur, whether that be through Divine Shield, Ancestral Healing. Like, you can't really keep great tabs on both of them and keep them both alive. Zeratul is a little bit less risky, a little less all into the fight than Illidan is, but still, it's more of a denial pick than anything. They just want to make sure Tempo Storm doesn't get both because they didn't go through
You
the
take
ban.
a melee assassin away from them, but Kerrigan's still available. So I mean, is Kerrigan still going to be prioritized?
I don't think Tempo Storm's going to pick Kerrigan.
If they did, they would just grab Kerrigan Muradin right now. They would just be like, "This is ours."
Early pick on the Zagara. I didn't expect to see Zagara before the first set or the second set of bans.
Interesting.
Now I don't know if the PLEYZ would even go Abathur at this point. They have that would be all of their damage. Just the melee assassins. I think they're going to have to go for something a little bit more standard from this point forward, ranged. So you got to look at Tempo Storm's side. I think they're going to try to ban out one of the supports and try to figure out which of those is the more important one. I would guess Brightwing at this point.
Or they're worried about Kerrigan. I mean, it's not the worst idea to ban out Kerrigan, but I think removing something like Brightwing would be smarter.
Kerrigan is a hero. If it were like I don't know, I don't see Tempo Storm really running it. It's more of a team thing. I just don't think that they like Kerrigan that much. I rarely see Zuna on Kerrigan. He's usually just going for either Illidan.
He certainly plays Kerrigan though.
He does.
So it's not out of the question.
He can play. I don't think the team likes to run it that much. Whether the PLEYZ knows that or not, and they will spend a ban on it, I'm not sure. I think that taking out Brightwing maybe makes the most sense, and they will secure themselves Uther if they want. And that takes out Promote as well. That's another thing to consider. Promote is decently strong on this map. Tempo Storm, what should they take away? Uther? Is that scary?
Yeah, okay. Brightwing, Uther, double support ban. PLEYZ will likely try to get Malfurion away from Tempo, because what Tempo has right now is there's a double ice block.
There's no good answer.
Leaning towards Tranquility, being very strong with them.
With the exception of Mule, there's really not that. Like, you're not going to take both Rhaegar and Malf. I think that just Tempo will grab the other. Malf probably is a better choice, but you have to consider what you're pairing yourself with. It's a denial, yes, but I think going Rhaegar is more important than denying them Malf. So they kind of have to go Rhaegar. They don't even need to grab it right away. I don't think there's any danger of Tempo Storm grabbing both of those heroes.
No. Yeah.
So figure out what warrior you want to go. More importantly, figure out what damage you want. Absolutely secure that final damage spot for the rest of your team. In this case, Kel'Thas? What do you think about that? Oh, you don't like him on this map. And that's for good reason. It's oftentimes a map that will run shorter. That said, Falstad? Maybe.
Yes, I like Falstad better. I actually like Vala the best. If you were to pick up one more assassin, I think Malf Vala would be some nice pickups here. Save your warrior for last. I think that's probably the best response. Denying Malf is big. Also, like you mentioned, Mule, the heals is very good. Tassadar would be the pickup here if he was available, but of course he is not.
Well, what's Illidan going to do at this point? Oh, they did it! Oh, they did it! Lily boys!
And I don't think the Tempo Storm's actually super concerned about this.
No.
What do they have for interrupts, right? They have Void Prison, and that's just going to stall out the Cups. They actually don't have any real interrupts. Yes, they can grab a new Barak.
Those are dodgeable things, though.
Or Judgment. But, like, I
Yeah,
don't think Lily is a horrible pick here. Honestly, I really don't.
Judgment is a thing, though.
Judgment is a thing.
It's a big thing.
Do they deny it?
That would be the craziest draft. If that's actually how this draft ended up going, they take Tyrael plus Lily.
They have to take Lily, right? They just have to. There's so few supports in this game right now.
Their other option is what? Tyrande. Tassitar's already been banned out.
Tassitar's banned.
Like, they could maybe have gone for Tassitar plus Tyrande. It would be weird.
It's
but, like,
it's not it's actually not even that weird for Haunted Minds. It's actually not out of the question. It's a very aggressive style. We've actually seen it done in the past to great success.
Actually, I'd be okay with Tyrande.
Tyrande Lily would be
no, just Tyrande.
Just Tyrande.
Just Tyrande.
Running the heal build with quickening too.
Yeah,
I don't think you'd get
I
quickening.
don't
You'd go battle
you don't
momentum,
necessarily need to go quickening. I think battle momentum plus overflowing light.
Overflowing light. You don't have that till level
Maybe.
13. It's just early. It's hard early game.
And okay, they are going to go with Lily.
Blinding wins is again. You have to talk about blinding versus Zeratul and Illidan. It's actually pretty good. A win build. Cups is very strong.
Gosh,
this is going to be a weird game.
it is going to be weird.
It's
we're already on Haunted Minds, right? It's like
right. All right. So the options here, Tychus isn't bad. Tychus is actually pretty good with drill and just his kit in general versus Illidan. And then you have Melting Point. Illidan. They don't have to worry about him too hard. They have a lot of stuns and lockdown. And Vala's still on the table. It's going to be a noob, though. They're going to deny some of the stuns. So this should be a Tyrael pickup as the warrior for PLEYZ.
Does it have to be? Can they go Johanna? Does that make sense?
Jojo, Johanna. They can, but it's not a good response to Cups. They need to think about Cups. Cups is going to ruin their life if they can't stop it.
I don't know. Is Tyrael a little bit too ham? Is he too ham? You got double support, but like your damage output at that point, not that Johanna's really gonna fix that. God, this is weird. This is weird. All in stitches. Let's go.
What? No, that is not. Oh, okay, there's gonna be Johanna. All right, so
it is a very sustained style. Who wins this draft, Jake? If there's ever a time to ask this question, who won?
I've never seen Dreadnought play Lily. Maybe once. Maybe once. And the fact that I get to see it, I'm just going to say the PLEYZ won because I'm excited to see Tempest from draft. That's the most cop-out answer I could ever give, so I'm going with it.
Tempostorm destroyed this draft, actually, the more I look at it. You have a new Barak. You have Zagara for push.
The bugs and the beetles.
Of course, Jaina's kit now applies to buildings. You always have to take into consideration that it is Haunted Minds.
It's the weirdest draft.
And there isn't a crazy amount of push. There's no promotes available for PLEYZ. Not to say that there's a promote on Tempostorm side of things, but they have better push. There's no way for the PLEYZ to get into the back line to deal with Lily, like you mentioned. They have very low damage output. Like, all they have to do is control Illidan through the use of Reverberation, stuns from the new Barak, and what do they have? I like the idea of them trying to take out the double support, but I would give this draft hands down to Tempostorm.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you, Kubi. Well, boys, we are going to get to see Lily played by Dreadnought on the side of Tempestorm versus a double support. Brightwing and Rhaegar were both banned out here in this draft. And Malfurion and Rhaegar on a single team with double melee assassin. One of the more unique drafts. They don't have a single ranged assassin on their team.
Yeah.
They actually have Johanna, Zeratul, and of course Illidan paired with Malfurion and Rhaegar. Not a single ranged assassin. I don't know that I've ever seen this happen.
Yeah, there's just one ranged attacker in general.
In the entire game.
Just Malf.
Zagara. Oh, on their side.
Just
Malf,
on the play side.
And on
just Malf.
the opposing side, they have Zagara, they have Jaina.
Yeah. Oof, this is weird. This is a weird draft. I like the idea. PLEYZ, they're looking to do something, though. It don't like I'm not really a big fan of teams at this point where you're just drafting super standard versus Tempostorm. What do you? Oh, you're just making the music. Yeah. But no,
I'm just excited and like kind of hyper because I'm just sipping coffee after coffee.
Oh yeah, this is cool. I'm really happy to see this. So
Hearthstone, we traded cups. Now we're going to hot coffee.
When did that happen?
Well, I have hot coffee now.
This guy. Wardrobe changes between games. Cup changes between games. 1,000 cups. But no, this is cool. I like the PLEYZ at least making an attempt to really just try to throw Tempostorm off their game. They take them to Haunted Minds, a map that they probably don't like that much. Tempo Storm, at the very least, they don't necessarily hate it, but they don't practice on it all that much. And they take this double support, forcing them to take Lily into double warrior. It's going to be a weird game, and I give a lot of credit to the PLEYZ for at least attempting this to see if it works. I hope it's something that they can really throw Tempo Storm off their game with.
Well, we're going to find out, guys. Game number 1 here with Tempo Storm versus the PLEYZ. Dreadnought will be playing as Lily, Arthalon on Jaina, Soldier playing as Anubarak, KO. Rockin' Zagar and Zuna will be playing the Warrior in this game. Oh, a Warrior as Murden.
I need to talk about lane clear after this. Well, let's introduce the right side of the map. We do have Pirate Rum is going to be on Malfurion. Oh no, see,
that's Illidan.
I was just like, wait a minute, that's Illidan. Yeah, Illidan in the top lane. Zeus is going to be on Rhaegar. Lex Uther is on Malfurion. Aragi is going to be on Zeratul, and rounding it out, we have Daihu on the Johanna.
Yeah,
so,
of course. Just real quick, Shando, Illidan, Malfurion, and Rhaegar and Illidan. Bleh! Malfurion and Illidan are brothers, and they have opposite skins, which you can
so confusing.
buy.
Anyways, thanks, PLEYZ. All right, lane clear. That's another thing to talk about. Jaina, maybe someone that they're going to leave behind. No, it's actually going to. Excuse me. Anubarak is going to be the one in the top lane, sort of defending, but it's up against Illidan. Oh, they're actually doing a little bit off-meta strategy. We're going to see the PLEYZ just try to defend as well as possible against the push from Tempo Storm. I like this because, hands down, Tempo Storm has the better push. They have Zagara, just the ability to soak up tower shots. You have Jaina with the excellent wave clear. Those two in itself, going to be more than enough to really out-damage or just out-clear. Hi.
Moonburn. Moonfire
that's
does 30%
what you're
additional
making a
damage
face
to
at.
non-heroic targets. Like, this is, we're talking about push being an issue. Yep. Lex Uther rocking just like a Moonfire build here. What year is this? It's actually 2004, where Heroes of the Storm wasn't even a thought.
His poor mana, look at his mana's like already gone. And this is going to be the case. That you have to defend, and you're going to find yourself pushed up against your fort wall. If you're going up against this push that Tempo Storm has. They have way more abilities, more summons that can soak up tower shots. They have blinds from Lily. It's just going to be difficult. And look at the Soldier is actually getting even more push in the top lane as well. So, very likely we won't see a lot of damage thrown down by either team. Very likely to be actually nothing, just a lot of bullets soaked up in the towers. I don't think we'll see any takedowns. But what this will give is positional advantage for the mines to Tempo Storm. They have, you can see it already. They just need to back up to go into the mines. This gives them the opportunity to set up for ganks going right into the mines. You can see they're getting set up. They're ready for it. And the rotation from the PLEYZ is just to go to the top lane and avoid Tempo Storm.
Tempo Storm has these 4 members in the bottom making their way directly to the middle where they will meet with Pirate Rum, Aragi, and Lex Uther. 3v4 in favor of Tempo. They're going to have to concede the middle camps. These 2 camps have the most skulls of every camp in the mines. And now it is all 5 members with Soldier coming along the backside.
Tempo Storm with the advantage on those first set of skulls, but a battle happening very early. Soldier diving in. Aragi might be in a bit of trouble if we have another Storm Bolt. The leap over, they're going to be able to get 2 pickups onto Daihu and Johanna as well. Pirate Rum into a lot of trouble. Yes, the additional stun. That did not go well for the PLEYZ.
Yeah, 3 for 1. We actually saw Illidan actually eliminate Arthalon in that battle. But I gotta say, Dreadnought with the blinding winds on Lily did buy a lot of time there. What would have been a lot more damage, constantly just blinding, and another takedown.
Oh
with
my
DC Mal down the Soldier
charge. That was really cool. Hey, hit his mark right on the point. Maybe that wasn't the intent. Really just wanted to get over there as fast as possible. Tempo Storm thus far showing they really have a great grasp on how this map works, what kind of rotations you need to make, who has the stronger early game fight. That's really important on this map. In terms of who can win the team fight early on. Having control of the mines this early is so important. And Tempo Storm, well, once again, just saying, okay, we have 44 skulls. We can talk a little bit about how the skull scaling works. Past 60 skulls, you don't really get a whole lot of an advantage. It sort of tapers off after 60 skulls.
More denial.
You're doing more, denial, exactly that. So Tempo Storm realizes the difference between a 60 and 40 skull golem, not going to be that much. What they're looking to do is take out the fort before the golems even get there.
Well, we can see the damage being done. They've got a 44 skull golem. They say that is good enough for us, and they've completely eliminated this wall. Now they're rotating back. They expected this rotation out of the bottom of the mines. Zuna on Murden, just find where he's standing, and the blizzard raining down. Looks like the Stormbolt hitting Pirate Rum, trying to back on out. Looks like every single member will escape.
He does.
Oh.
Zuna might be finding himself in a bit of trouble, but actually no, the damage onto Malfurion is going to be enough. That is only just the one healer. Is Zuna a bit overextended? Pirate Rum looking to try to put his damage down into Arthlon, and the pull, the condemn from Daihu is good. Zuna, with very low mana, will not be able to use his Dwarf Toss to get out. Are they going to target him for that? No. Looks as though they will be satisfied with the one takedown. Soldier, a little late to the party. Shows up, hey guys, my Beatles, we're here. But 44 to 56 gold Golem, very close.
Yeah, and
I will say, though, they didn't do enough damage, Tempo Storm. They left the mines early and didn't do enough damage to the fort to justify leaving, losing that takedown. And I think that they should either gone for the aggressive camp or contested the golem in the bottom.
All of this is a bit weirdly timed. We actually see that the giant camp was prioritized by Goon Squad. Excuse me, the PLEYZ. And the PLEYZ, like, it stalled their defense on this Golem. Golem's going to get if they just flat out defended it immediately, it would have been a little bit quicker in defense, but either way, their fort will stay alive. Ammunition just about to run out. And on the opposite side, that Golem just barely going to make it through the wall.
Yep. No mules picked up for Tempo Storm. They do have the level advantage. I haven't talked about that much as of yet. So fairly even trades for either side. I guess a little bit further ahead for Tempo Storm since they have drained the ammunition out of that fort. What else do we have?
Shake It Off was picked up here by Lily. That's going to actually really help with the roots and any kind of slow, condemn, the whole deal.
Yeah.
I think it's a nice pickup. And again, we're talking Mass Vortex, so this is going to be a blind build.
As rare as the Lily picks are, I think this is the standard pick
for Lily
at this talent tier.
Yeah.
Shake It Off.
It's still, though, you have to talk about the implications that it has.
And we may even see... Actually, isn't there a blind upgrade at level 7 that might have been a better pick just because they're dealing with Illidan? But hold that thought. Another aggressive fight. Tempo Storm looking to take this fort down to finish it off. They do have the mule that was picked up, so they do need to get in there. KO finding himself now taken down. Daihu has been getting a lot of great condemns and pulls.
Just barely staying alive. He's just going to tap that well and go back into battle. Oh, the Blizzard zoning Aragi, but he doesn't fall for it. It's going to be the Dwarf Toss keeping Zuna alive the last possible moment. And we have Pirate Rum unloading everything he has onto Arthlon, going to be able to take him out, and Dreadnought is now in a very tight spot.
So many trades, Dreadnought with a great escape into there. And of course, Lily, it's so difficult to take down. She does have that, the fast feet that lets her get out of a lot of crazy situations. Pirate Rum overextended Soldier once again with a great burrow charge, able to take down an additional hero. So the takedowns, it's been a fairly active game thus far. 10 takedowns to 4, and it looks as though
oh no! Lex Uther gets hit, the Dwarf Toss goes in, Burrow Charge connects, and that will be the double Warrior takedown. Zuna's a bit overextended now. He knows this. He's just buying as much time as he can. Mines will be up in 25 seconds, and losing a hero there is not what you want.
Okay, it turns out to be a decent defense. The actual problem is the hero level. Or just about at level 10 for Tempo Storm. That means cups. That means we're going to have a lot more sustain overall, I would say. Especially with Avatar, with the Locust Swarm, with the Jug of 1,000 Cups. All of those things are going to make Tempo Storm so much more difficult to take down. Water Elemental picked up for, and then I'm going to guess it's going to be Maw. Can't imagine why you would
Look
go
at the spread here. Look at the spread here by the PLEYZ. They're actually collecting. They're already going to surpass 40 skulls. They can leave the mines immediately. This is a big play. They knew that they had the takedown on Muradin. The Tempo Storm wouldn't be at full power, but Tempo Storm is going right past the skulls and straight for Aragi. They don't see him.
They don't see him. Of course, that is Zuna. I mean, it's not Zuna, so he's seeing him on Zeratul. There we go. He is cloaked in thus far. Might be difficult to see, especially with the lighting.
Yeah, that's
in the
true. The mines are a bit weird.
I want to talk a little bit about Johanna's build before we get into the next team fight. And it's a bit different from what we usually see. Knight takes pawn. That makes a lot of sense. Also very easy to clear out the skulls while you're in here. We saw that to great effect. The other one is Roar, increased damage on the punish, so they realize that their damage is quite low considering they do have this double support build. And then Conviction, which is the increased movement speed when you trigger Condemn before it goes off for that 1 second. So that allows for a lot more chase. The Heroics, we didn't get a chance to, well, they just popped up, but Void Prison, Metamorphosis, Blessed Shield, Tranquility, and I assume Ancestral Healing, yes. Could you have argued for a Bloodlust? I know I just told you not to talk about Bloodlust, but...
All right,
they have healing. Like, could they have done it?
You know how hard I had to hold back about talking about Bloodlust in this game? And now you're going to tell me, could they have argued for Bloodlust? Are you kidding me? Do I have to go full Zoya right now? Because I am upset. Oh, my God.
Got him.
54 Skull Golem in favor of the blue team. Tempo Storm is marching down this bottom lane. There is no Bloodlust in this game.
Okay, Yep, doing a great job taking the sport out, Tempo Storm. They have the Jug of 1,000 Cups up, and actually very quickly was able to be stunned out. Johanna got right in there, but has she overextended? We see the third tool. Oh, a great burrow charge once again. 3 heroes gone down for the PLEYZ, and this is going to be another with a fairly strong golem, slight advantage, but really what this comes down to is they have more heroes alive. That's always a big deal.
Yeah,
That's always a big deal.
I mean, 4 versus 1. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And this boss still has more than half its health. The opposing boss being defended by giants and the tower that's just about to fall. So this boss will make it to the wall. It will maybe take out one structure there, but not going to get too much more done.
This is going to be close. I don't think they're going to be able to get a keep off of this, especially considering how aggressive the plays are.
With Mule, just leave.
Yeah,
it's not worth it. Just leave.
Yeah,
if a Mule wasn't there, get the damage done. It's worth it. But with the Mule, it's no value.
What does Tempo Storm want to do at this point? I think taking the aggressive giants would also be a bit too far forward at this point. But level 13 has been hit. We do have the Burning Rage. Shrink Ray for Lili has been picked up, and that's just another way for them to sort of quell Illidan in these fights. The Grooved Spines, it's going to be double, not Mutalisk, what is it, Hunter Seeker? Double Hunter Seeker at level 16. It's just, with Battle Momentum, this is sort of like the KO way of playing this hero.
And I love Groove Spines versus Mutalisk gun. It's just more single target damage, and you're going to need that against, especially against with Illidan on the battlefield.
Oh, I actually didn't talk about this. Battle Momentum was picked up for Murden instead of Piercing Bolt.
Huh, yeah, we didn't realize that. Interesting.
That's an odd one. I thought maybe if there were a lot of summons on the map, that would be maybe an issue. You don't want them soaking up. I don't know. That's different. That's very, very different. Maybe they just figure if you're not going for Perfect Storm plus Sledgehammer, it's not really worth grabbing Piercing Bolt at this point. Maybe just something they're messing around with. I don't know. I'll have to ask them about that later. That's an interesting one.
All right, well, they are marching down this bottom lane, just cleaning up the minions. The next spawn of the mines isn't too far away.
Yeah, within the next minute, they will be popping up. It's 2 minutes after the last golem ends up falling down, so that should be within the next minute. They know this. They're just trying to hold map control, keep the lanes as pushed out as far forward. It's kind of an awkward period, or I should say like a calm period of this map, because there's not a lot of mercenary camps to hold control over. They got quickly cleaned up. Yeah, they could right now back up to take their giants, but they'd be giving up positioning on the mines. As you can see, a lot of Tempo Storm. They are filing in. They want to do exactly what the PLEYZ did for the last set of mines that popped up and just spread out and try to take as many golems as quickly as they can spawn. Skulls.
They're going to collect them, and they're going to find the bottom team here. They're collapsing upon them right now. Zuna in the front line. We do see Condemned just pulling in Dreadnought. No, the cleanse going to be enough. We do see one Hydra out, and there go those cups, but they were interrupted rather rapidly. The blind hitting several targets in the PLEYZ with a very convincing start to this fight. But can they turn it around with all of these stuns? The Dwarf Toss going to get Aragi. Soldier very low, leaving the mines. Going to just be completely ignored now. Tempo's actually turning these around.
They are. They have a lot of HP left, and that's worse than Metamorphosis has run out of its extension. Earthon is trying to get away. I don't know if he'll be able to get back to Earthon. Yes. Daihu ends up falling as well. So
he tapped the well. Soldier's back in. Burrow Charge not going to hit with Zeus, and it's going to be a full-on retreat. This will allow Tempo Storm to start collecting the skulls. They don't need to chase right now.
Okay, so the strategy I'm noticing, I've been watching Daihu just to see what kind of value the Jug of 1,000 Cups is going to get during these fights, and every time the Condemn or the Blessed Shield is saved for Lili in particular, because I want to be able to shut down. Wow, look at this Soldier. Is he? Not quite.
Not quite, but
doesn't have the impale. That would have made a difference.
Zeus is going to be able to get out of here, but Illidan ends up falling. We missed that in the top portion of the map. Nice plays here. I believe that was actually in the upper portion out of the mines where they got that takedown.
KO was able to take that. Was that a Maw that was used? No, not quite. So, all right, but yeah, that's going to be a big chunk of these fights. Zeus using Ancestral Healing off himself.
Stormbolt, Burrow Charge.
Doesn't have much mana. He's not going to be able to heal himself. We are going to swap out to the outside. Yeah, I think they should be able to clean this up, especially with the Blinding Wind. There it is. A 46 skull golem already been acquired by Tempo Storm. I think that's a good call for them to go in to finish the golem.
Yeah, I think they're going to do just that. I mean, they realize they have a hero advantage. They have a talent advantage. Level 16 just been reached. We do see the double Hydralisk. We do see the Numbing Blast. 2 for 1. This is going to really amplify Lili's capability to heal. And, of course, Blood for Blood on
Yeah, the 2 for 1's important considering how much the Jug of 1,000 Cups has been denied. It's all of these fights. I think the Cups have been up for like a split second before either the Condemn or the Blessed Shield. So credits due for the Johanna player taking that out. That's very, very good. Daihu.
Yeah, And look at this positioning. All 5 members here sticking together. They know they aren't safe to get these bruisers because Tempo Storm has already collected the skulls. What do they want to do? They want to get more map presence. Merc Camps, that's the obvious play, so that's why they're retreating back into their base to defend this golem, which is about to spawn.
And that is a full representation from Tempo Storm. They want to finish this keep off. I say finish it off. It was at full HP because of that mule that was grabbed on Malfurion. How well will they be able to defend this? I don't think they can. I think this is going to be a keep regardless. Not the end of the game unless they lose a lot of heroes in the defense. So they have to be cautious.
They're not even using the mule. They know this is like a lost cause. We actually see the passive being used by Johanna to stay alive. Tranquility has been cast as well, and there goes the Metamorphosis. But Tempo Storm, they're just buying their time, waiting it out, and once those heroics go down, they will turn this fight.
And there it is, KO actually quite low. Not going to be able to get the healing. Do we have the Jug of 1,000 Cups not used?
That
Maw! Wow, well done. Yes, Pirate Rum does get the Ancestral Healing at the last second, but it is going to be an overextension. Once again, KO!
Coming blast!
Well done.
I can't believe it. The big VP, the big Maw to really just control that battlefield. Tempo Storm going to take a convincing game number 1 versus the PLEYZ here on Haunted Mines.
Yep, this is best out of 3, so they need to come up with something for the second match. The PLEYZ, though, I liked the attempt, I like the effort, you know, taking the double supports away with that double support ban, and you know, forcing them onto Lily. It was a cool attempt. Also going to Haunted Mines, not bad. Tempo Storm, though, showing that they are game. Good. But yeah, it was. I liked, again, good idea to try to throw Tempo Storm off of their game. However, Tempo Storm really showing why they are the seasoned team. They are the veterans, the experienced ones.
They are. And
they have been to this map, although not that much, enough to have faced these types of strategies before.
Enough!
And they dealt with it. I can't remember what he says afterwards.
This is on you, Kubi.
I don't know. That's it. I'm done.
Guys, tell us all of Blackheart's quotes in the chat while we set up for game number 2, which could be on Blackheart's Bay. Who knows?
Nope.
We're going to find out. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We have saved you from
The wubs.
The wubs. The wubs. Apologies for that. Eventually, maybe we'll have better music.
Eventually, maybe we'll have better music, he says. All right, I'm the Kubi, and with me is Solid Jake. We're going into game number 2 on the winner's semis.
I wonder if I'll see Bloodlust this game. Probably. Probably not.
No, it's not happening. Have half a lobby set up. We are going to Tomb of the Spider Queen, though. We can talk about that.
All right, so Tomb of the Spider Butts is a small map. And it didn't work on Kubi. It worked on me, but it summoned the cat. Come here, cat. Come here. Tell them about Tomb of the Spider Queen, Kubi.
All right, so very, very small map. Lots of lack of space. That's how I saved that sentence. There is not a lot of room between the lanes. A small map, typically an aggressive map, but the objective is maybe not as strong as some of the other maps are. That cat looks so unhappy to be held.
She is so happy right now. She's purring like a ferocious beast.
We may see Kerrigan getting into play, a more aggressive rotations. Some teams like to run a lot of promote. Don't see a lot of Vikings. All of these things. What a cat. So distracting. That's it. That's my.
Like, I can't finish my thought.
I can't. No.
Well,
Cat's too distracting.
I will bounce this cat until we get a draft link. That is the current strategy.
Okay. So what else? What else can we talk about? Tomb of the Spider-Man. Vision. Vision is a very, very important thing. So maybe Brightwing. Malph's been picked a lot lately, and he does have Scouting Drone as well. So those two heroes supports can be possibly prioritized for that reason. Zagara, also really, really strong in this map. The Creep Tumors being able to be put in the vents just so that you have vision control of those areas as well. Pretty good heroes to grab. We do have a draft link, Jake.
We do? Oh, yeah.
Check
Let's
that
go.
out.
Let's go.
Get you a monitor back. What a day.
There's a cat.
Yeah.
She's being a cat. That's what cats do. Did you know that, Kubi?
I did know that.
Who told you?
You just told me. Nope. Yep. There you go. Got it.
Got it. Handle it. All right.
So winner of this will advance to upper bracket finals versus the winner of Complexity and Cloud9 Maelstrom. Actually, do we have updates on the bracket? I'd be curious to see that.
All right, disengage cat. Draft about to begin. We have given them the approval to move forward.
Kappa Wolves takes a 2-0 victory over Cognitive.
Wow, grats to Kappa Wolves.
Yep.
They will face. They're going to be facing Zevran here in losers round 5. I assume that is already underway. Cloud9 Vortex versus 2Arc Gaming also underway. Those are the lower bracket matches.
Yep.
The teams that fall here will be facing the winners of those two series.
Yes.
So Kappa Zevran
Wolves.
Kappa Wolves versus
Zevran.
Zevran will face the loser of Complexity Maelstrom, and then the loser of this series will face Cloud9 Vortex or 2Arc Gaming.
So that's where the bracket stands. Now, there's only the one match that needs to be finished for Cloud9 Maelstrom and Complexity. Maelstrom did have a 1-0 victory before the servers pooped themselves yesterday, and we were not able to make custom games at that point. Would have liked to have brought you guys the rest of those series for the winner's bracket side, but we're moving on, and this is where we're at. So we should let the teams know that we are good to go. I think they are asking if we can start draft.
I gave them the okay.
Oh.
They should probably be better.
Tomb of the Spider. So we talked about some potential heroes that could be picked up. Kerrigan ban? Do you think Kerrigan Temple Storm will ban out Kerrigan quickly?
If it's going to be first pick on PLEYZ, yeah, I think they probably would. I think that makes a lot of sense. It's just such a aggressive map. This small map's all about the rotations, getting those early takedowns.
Tassadar also good on this map too, for the same reasons. Vision. Promote seems to be commonly used on this map as well. Azmodan. We didn't even talk about Azmodan and Johanna.
Lots of farming.
Abathur is taken away as that first ban for Temple Storm, so they're not worried so much about Kerrigan as they are Abathur. And Zeratul is taken away. Does this point towards a first pick on Illidan? Do they want to go for something a little bit more... I mean, every time I'm like, oh yeah, they're going to take Illidan, they're going to take one of these melee, they just go like, yeah, let's take Tassadar. They do still have the additional 2 picks afterwards, and they might not want to show too much of their strategy. Who knows? That could go Tassadar into Johanna Azmodan. could just take Illidan and build around that. A lot of options available. I'm going to go for Sylvanas.
I think that's, yeah, just a safe pick. This should just be a follow-up. It could be Jane and Kerrigan, though. That's one of the things. That's such a powerful duo. And they've left that on the table, and I really would like that out of the plays.
Jane and Kerrigan?
Yeah, personally. If they are comfortable with Kerrigan, if not, they'll probably do something like Illidan and Jaina.
Either of those options available to them. Tempo Storm, so they take Sylvanas, and it sort of has a similar effect as to what you would see on the Haunted Mines. Not quite as strong, because the health pools of the Web Weavers drain slowly over time, and having the bullets not firing back will help from the structures, but you know, so that can create some stronger pushes. So it's not a bad idea to pick up Sylvanas on this map. The PLEYZ, like you mentioned, they have a couple options available to them. I imagine that Zagara will be something probably prioritized by Tempo Storm, but maybe, again, later on in the draft. They do like running that hero in, and there's a good argument.
Jojo Hana?
I'd be okay with that. That's fine. Probably the first time I've ever seen
first pick,
second and third pick, yeah, onto Asmodean. But they're not going to go with the Johanna. So Tempo Storm doesn't even have to take Johanna if they don't want.
Or they could go Johanna Kerrigan right now.
Could do that. A lot of options available. They could ban Johanna out as well. They could go Task Brightwing just to pick up the promotes.
All right. Well, let's think about the other options that are available here on the table. Kael'thas, Tassadar, and Vala, all very big picks. They're going to go for Tassadar. That's actually... Okay, Tassadar, Kael'thas. So, let's discuss.
PLEYZ will ban out Brightwing. Tempo will ban out Johanna.
Brightwing is going to be a ban for what reasons exactly do you think? Just because of the promote? The double promote potential?
Yes.
All right.
I think that's probably the best thing, and it's not really the healer that's needed for the plays. They can go with either Malf, Rhaegar, either of those are fine. It's not like a priority. I think that Tempo Storm would prioritize Brightwing over any of the other supports at this point.
I would agree. And the reason that Tassadar is so strong on this map is he's got defense for your structures, good lane clear, promote, he's got vision. He's actually just one of the ultimate assets for this map in general.
But what this means with the Kael'thas Tassadar picked is that Zagara won't be grabbed. Interesting, though. A lot of range damage output. Okay, so they're going to ban out Nubarak. That is... Interesting. So they do ban Johanna. Tempo Storm at least going for the ban out that I thought they would take. The PLEYZ now able to... Maybe they're just looking to take Brightwing. I guess that's an option as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't deny it, I think it's smart to pick it up. Johanna being banned out here, I think that's very smart, especially when you do see already the Jaina and the Asmodean. It's almost a forced ban out of the plays. Maybe they have something in mind here. Muradin would work fine. It just doesn't have that same kind of synergy for the stacking of that Globe of Annihilation.
Yeah, you don't have to have Johanna.
It's just nice
to stack. Yeah, it's just something that makes it a lot easier. The map's already quite small, so rotating between the two lanes anywhere is going to be a fine strategy to do this. I don't think Kerrigan's something that really helps to that, but you have Kerrigan Uther. Maybe if Jaina is rotating, using the Blizzard to help clear out those waves, that could be an option. Tempo Storm still needs to pick up their warrior. Johanna has been taken away, of course, by their own bans. It's probably going to be Muradin and Brightwing. So not like the hugest amount of synergy. Okay, no Brightwing. I lied. How do you feel about that, Jake?
The lack of Brightwing?
Going for Rhaegar.
I'm actually okay with it. I mean, we just talk about Rhaegar and how good he is on the map, but you have to consider the core objective. The core objective is collecting the gems and turning the gems in. He's great at it. He has Farsight for additional vision if they wants to go for that, or Feral Heart, making it very hard to just burn down, right? He constantly has a self-sustain with mana and health, and he can escape from a lot of situations with Wolf form. Going for that Kerrigan combo, I'm just going to juke it, and I'm sure they're suspecting Kerrigan as a pickup here later in the draft, which did happen.
So, Nubarak banned out. Johanna banned out. Muradin picked up. Does this have to be Tyrael? ETC? It's kind of an awkward spot for the PLEYZ in terms of picking up a warrior.
They could do a warrior list, honestly.
They could.
I would be okay with Tyrande, to be honest with you. Having additional support, you have the health bar of Asmodean, which is very strong. She would work well with Kerrigan. Kerrigan Tyrande is actually a big combo. I know I've been harping a lot on Tyrande the last couple of days, just like why is she not being played right now? She makes perfect sense in this meta. But we'll see.
Tyrell's a little bit scary to pick, but could work. Judgment plus, powered up globes.
I don't like it for whatever reason.
Oh, I wish I said it. I wish I had said it. Honestly, the thought did cross my mind. I was like, Stitches, maybe.
That's crazy though,
because they have the I'm sort of critical of this. Anytime that a team picks Stitches, do they have the blow up potential, the stuns to follow up the hooks? They do.
They do.
They have Kerrigan. They have Uther. So Stitches can get a pull, Hammer of Justice very easily into Impale. They don't even need to Primal Grasp to set that up. That's enough stun.
Yeah, it certainly is. And well, we're going to see how that all pans out for them because, again, Stitches is a hero where he almost got a reputation where he fell out of the meta where Stitches just, if you pick Stitches, you lose. That actually became like a running joke in the competitive scene. Like, all right, you draft Stitches, you lose, because it was just the statistics spoke for themselves. Yeah. It's been quite some time before we've seen a lot of Stitches play. We saw one game yesterday, but I have personally been complaining about the lack of Stitches at Tomb of the Spider Queen. Because this is a very small map where the hooks can have a massive impact, just disrupting them, coming from all over the place. There's so many points where you can flank. I'm excited.
Yeah, it can work out. Absolutely can work out. Now, do they have... I don't even know if... well, gosh, I'm trying to think about the Uther. What's the Uther going to pick for the heroic? There's a possibility of Divine Storm being grabbed just from the sense of locking out the enemy team to follow up on the hook. But then again, Divine Shield plus Kerrigan, also a very, very strong combination. Either of those. There's a lot of different ways the PLEYZ can take this, and again, everything is going to be based on the hook. There's a good amount of targets. Sylvanas, there's so many squishy targets that they can grab. That will be something that can be blown up, something that can be dealt with. Damage output will be there. Go for it. I want to see it happen. We have not seen Stitches win a game in probably 2 months.
And if they defeat Tempo Storm with Stitches, that would be so nice. That would be so nice. So I'm super hopeful for this game. Game number 2, Tempo Storm currently up 1-0 versus the PLEYZ in the winners finals of the Team Liquid Super Brawl here. This event does provide seeding. Winner semifinals. You're right. This, of course, does provide seeding for the July North American Open, which is qualification for the North American Regionals, which is qualification for BlizzCon.
Right. Both these teams have secured themselves seeding points. On the left side of the map, we do have the PLEYZ. Daihu is going to be on Stitches. Zeus will be on as Modan. Pirate Rum on the Kerrigan. Aragi is going to be playing Jaina. And Lex Uther in the bottom lane on Uther.
And on the right side of the map, we have Zuna playing as Sylvanas, Soldier, KO, and Arthlon in the middle of the map on their heroes respectively. And in the bottom, it's just Dreadnought on Rhaegar. Game number 2, Tempo Storm looking to secure themselves a top 4 finish with this game, but the PLEYZ, they want to fight back. And I believe in the Stitches, Kubi.
I do too. I want to see it happen. And they have drafted themselves a very nice composition. What else are some things that sort of take Stitch's ability away? Cleanse to an extent. That's not available for Tempo Storm. Tassadar is a target they want to avoid. Muradin, a target they want to avoid. But if they hook any of the other 3 heroes, they're okay. There's not many summons. In fact, there are no summons that can be put in the way. Yeah, if they had Zagara, maybe that would be a different story. Not going to be the case. So I think they've set themselves up very nicely to have a Stitches game. If you're going to run Stitches, I think it makes a lot of sense here. What were their other options? Tyrael, you dive in a little bit too hard. You need to have the Divine Shield for either Kerrigan or Tyrael.
But Lex Uther, the rotation is here. He does get hit by the Gravity Blast, and that will be a very early takedown, but that 4-man rotation out of Tempo Storm, nicely done.
Yes, so we talked about the space on this map being small between each lane and having a heavy rotation crew. Soldier on the Muradin plus, either of any of those heroes kill Thas. Even though he doesn't have the strongest of early games, they're making it work. As long as the stuns are there, it can work out. And we saw it executed well just there.
All right, well, Stitches getting hit once more. He's going to get blown up as well. Daihu using that chew your food, the eat. He's going to end up falling.
The Devour?
Devour.
The Eat.
Chew food is the talent. Shows I haven't cast Stitches in a while.
When was the last time you played Stitches, Jake?
Last night.
Rip, boys! I kid. All right. I did notice that the timing for the Taste for Blood in the bottom lane wasn't quite on point. They had like a blizzard thrown down, but didn't manage to time that out well in terms of stacking. So we'll have to pay a little bit more attention to that just to see how practiced the PLEYZ are with not maybe running Johanna with this style.
It's true, but level 4 has been reached. It's going to be, you know, spiking more into
again,
that
yeah.
Thunder Burn. We do see in Venom, the Feral Heart was picked up here. Not worried about Vision too much since do have, in fact, have Tassadar here on this team.
Man, look how aggressive Pyro ends up and falling in the middle lane. Kerrigan overextended a little bit. Does not have quite the set of escapes that some of the other more aggressive melee assassins do. So always going to have to keep tabs on her to keep her alive. And, you know, with Uther sort of stuck in the bottom lane, that makes it, you know, you have to be either very, very confident with your aggressive rotations or not do them at all. And if you're sort of halfway in between, Tempo Storm will pick you apart for not having that confident play. Once again, Daihu ends up falling.
Wow.
You know, falling down almost 2 levels, like we're a level and a half at this point.
And yeah, structural damage well in their favor. They're up, you know, 4 takedowns to 0. Like, that's a big deal. Zuna, not even afraid because he's got his team here. He says, you know what, if you want to step out, I will fight you.
Yep. Enough gems for Tempo Storm to turn in to get their first objective. Summon the Web Weavers to help push down their lanes. Again, it's not the most impactful of objectives compared to other maps, but still,
wow,
it puts a lot of pressure on the enemy team. You are able to take down a lot of towers to extend that experience advantage.
So aggressive. They managed to pick off Kerrigan well within her base, and things are just looking quite nice here for Tempo Storm. Like you mentioned, those gems, they have enough. KO still sitting on 10, wants to keep pushing out. It's actually pretty beneficial to take out the towers first before you summon the Web Weavers. If you can stall it out, there's no rush, right? You just want to get more value by stalling it out.
Yep. That way they can push in a little bit further, soak up more shots from those forts. And the more map control you can get in that sense by clearing out those forts early and just having basically 2/3 of the map to yourself lets you take more mercenary camps. Oragi has the living bomb on him. The stun is not going to be true. Soldier missing that. I think that probably would have been an additional takedown. 14 gems. Probably would have been scooped up by Uther, but still continuing to ride that momentum forward. We do see the first set of Web Weavers turned in for Tempo Storm, and they do have a lot of these towers taken down.
Yeah,
mostly in the top lane.
I mean, they're pushing that middle lane super aggressively right now. They've got a big wave. They have promote, and look at this positioning. They saw the Knights were in fact being contested. They go straight into the front line. Soldier back there locking down the Kerrigan for the time being, but actually this is great positioning here by the PLEYZ, forcing them back.
Yeah, Tempo Storm saw that, like you mentioned. They wanted to go in there to take that out, but I think that as soon as they stepped in, they're like, oh, yeah, you know what? We don't exactly have full vision of them, especially through the vents and such. Don't really know what we're getting ourselves into. This could be a great way to throw away a hefty advantage, level and a half at this point. We have the objective moving forward. We don't want to toss these nice advantages away.
Yeah, but the top lane is going to lose its fort to that Web Weaver push. Bottom lane still alive with Dreadnought pushing, soaking 2 lanes, but a lot of aggression here. Zuna getting quite low, gets pulled in by the hook, but it's going to be a trade. Kerrigan and Jaina going down in favor of Tempo Storm. The Globe not quite going to be enough damage, and that's 3 for nothing.
All right, speaking of globes, 24 bonus damage, 5 minutes into the game.
That's it.
They have not been able to stack all that well. Zoo's now caught out of
position.
That is 40 gems were just dropped by Azmodan. This is not looking to be a strong start for the PLEYZ. They get the pull onto Zuna, gets stunned out.
Wailing
but the Phoenix,
arrow.
Yeah, and the wailing arrow was more than enough. They pick up an additional set of takedowns. 11 thus far into the game, 5 minutes and 40 seconds in. They have full control of this objective thus far. They have an additional 51 gems, almost another turn in. They need to get mana back, but man. All right, let's start theory crafting. We need to, first of all, they need to be playing to their team. They're a pick team. They need to be looking to get positions to get hooks far away from the enemy team. So like right now we see Dreadnought, for example, he's turned in, but they don't quite have that vision of that, but that's an example of it. They need to find a hero that's out of position, lock out those stuns. We haven't seen any synergy really sort of coordinating very well with the PLEYZ. They haven't really been getting the stacking going.
Right.
They haven't been getting follow-ups on hooks. I haven't even really seen any hooks that have been that impactful thus far.
Just the one which ended up them losing 3 heroes.
And right now they're at the point where they need to soak. They have to soak. They're 3 levels down. They have to soak to get to level 10 because they just can't be standing up to this heroic advantage. And this is one of those advantages that is very, very difficult to come back from. Can be done. They're going to have to be very patient at this point in time. They're going to take a lot of losses in the meantime. They're going to be taking keep losses, before the 10-minute mark.
Yeah, it looks like it. Middle fort remains, and Tempo could go for that, but they're the kind of team that likes to get as aggressive as possible. So they're looking at this bottom lane. You mentioned keep losses. That's what they want. They're hungry for a keep. They know the response has to be there in the top lane because that keep's already exposed. So they're pushing as far away as possible in this bottom lane.
Yep, just making full use of the objective. They know that their response, they want to try to keep the fort alive in mid, but they're also being able to take down this wall. We see the vision is turned up from Tassar, so there's no way that a flank can happen. And we still have more than half HP on this Web Weaver.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a lot of health. Heroic's still not there. Like, level 13 might be hit before level 10 for the PLEYZ. That would be a 2-tier advantage for them, which is actually kind of just ridiculous.
Yeah, this keep is going down. The Giants pushing. There's no way they can keep this up. Yeah, you're right. There's almost a 3-level advantage at this point.
There it is. Four-level lead right now in favor of Tempo Storm, and they've got the 2-tier advantage. So now we have Flamethrower. Kael'thas is just going to get stronger and stronger. Even Healing Surge picked up on Rhaegar. The dimensional, or the prescience here for Tassar. Try eliminating him. Yeah,
and we've seen some aggressive dwarf tosses from Soldier at this point. They're going to get even scarier with the Thunderburn.
What are the stacks at now? I mean, he's been so forced back for Asmodan. He's only at 70 bonus damage.
And that will go up quite a bit now, but the part where they're they're kind of completely backed up into their base.
Yeah.
Tempo Storm looking to take the second keep of the game within 8 minutes or 9 minutes of the game. That's terrifying.
They're not going to get it, but it's still looking rough here. Actually, if Dahu isn't careful, he has to look for a hook. Nice body blocks there by just Soldier, making sure he's staying in front of his team. Primal Grass hitting 3 targets. Divine Shield used rather early here, but Ancestral going to keep Arth alive, and Tempo will turn this around with that level advantage.
Yeah, KO still has Depression, so that's okay for him to stay forward. We see the Dwarf Toss to get him back out, and that's almost enough damage to get Soldier punished for his aggressive play, but actually it seems like Pirate Rum had a very good leap in with the Maelstrom, was hitting many members of Tempo Storm. That's a good way to push them back, but they weren't able to get any takedowns at the point. Still 12-0, 25 gems still to the name of Tempo Storm. Not quite enough to get the turn in, obviously, but
Zuna had 28 health left when he Haunting Waved out of there.
Yeah,
28.
Sounds about right. They really played that to the razor's edge.
Zero kills. And nicely done there by Tempo. They're really looking dominant in this game. 4-level lead still standing for them, and they have, no mercenary camps to take, so they're just going to continue being aggressive. Middle keep rather low. Top keep also exposed, while not a single fort has even really taken damage.
Yeah, no mules to heal those structures back up. What do they have for heroics? What can they use to their advantage? They have the Divine Shield. They have Gorge. Actually, that's something to talk about, too. Black Pool is to be expected. The Maelstrom from Kerrigan, we saw that to good effect in the last. But all that we're really able to do with that, even in the best possible scenario, hitting all 5 members of Tempo Storm with the Maelstrom, they weren't even able to take anyone down. That is the testament to a 4-level advantage.
It's
talent tiers. And a lot of the talent tiers, a lot of it's defensive. Healing Surge, Spell Shield, Prescience, it just makes so many of the members of Tempo Storm so much more difficult.
That's what they're saying. They're saying the way that they get back into the game is by getting takedowns with that underdog advantage. But that's why Tempo Storm is playing in this passivity way. They're like, all right, let's go defensive so they just can't kill us. Yeah. And, well, they'll never catch up.
At least playing like this.
Yeah.
If things continue
so
to
smart.
Run.
Safe, just grabbing Merc camps, keeping them in their base. Choke them out.
Yeah. Decisive play from Tempo Storm. Like I said, they are the experienced, they are the veteran team.
They're the top team in NA for a reason. We do see Dahu looking for a hook, going to get Dreadnought, but the Wailing Arrow buying some time. Ancestral was used. Divine Shield the last possible second, but I don't think it's going to be enough for Pirate Rum to get out of here. Oh, actually does manage to take out Sylvanas using that leap forward, but he is pulled back into battle. Wow.
Okay.
Pirate Rum, 2 for 4. They got 2 kills on the board, man.
Yeah, what was a 4-level advantage for Tempo Storm is now down to a 3 at the very least, making that sort of trade. No, that's 5-2. I don't know. That's not going to be a victory for Tempo Storm just yet.
They got some takedowns
too early in the game. They did.
Put it on the board. Level 16 was reached, though.
Yes, level 16 is up now. Thought maybe this might be the opportunity for Tempo Storm to try to take out the rest of that keep. Not going for it.
They're just going to play safe. It's a bit risky. The death timers are a little bit too short right now. 12 more needed. We actually have enough just between Arthalon and Soldier. KO just wants to be feeling nice, too. Going to turn his in. Feeling nice.
Additional set of Web Weavers. 3rd in a row.
Yeah, man. And they're working on that boss with that talent advantage. They say you have to fight us with a talent tier advantage, or you have to defend a boss, which means we're going to take out at least 1 or 2 more keeps.
They still have Phoenix and Ancestral Healing. 2 great tools, especially the Phoenix for zoning out the enemy team. We'll probably see them throw it down very early. Arthalon will just put it right in that gateway.
Uh-oh. Divine Shield was used. Kerrigan in the front. They get the Primal Grasp onto that. Kael'thas, he will end up going down, so a really nice pickoff. That's a good start to the fight. Boss Leash, 100% health remaining. KO quite low right now, using that prescience to stay alive, and Zuna receiving the Ancestral Healing. This is actually quite good on the side of the PLEYZ.
Yes, KO, now level 16, does have that prescience submission warp, can heal up a little bit, but does end up falling. Soldier actually does not get over the wall. Aragi, is he going to be able to get... Okay, we do have the heal from the Avatar that will be able to keep him alive, but Zuna has now overextended. That's 3 for nothing, and look at the experience.
Yeah.
They brought themselves back within a level and a half. Yes, the objective was pushing this whole time. Who's able to stay alive. Soldier leaping in. Dreadnought also there to assist to try to punish some of this aggressive play.
The problem is, even though they took a big fight there, and that is the throw pit for a reason, is there are web rivers in all 3 lanes, and one keep was already down. Now talk about all 3 keeps being down. That's why Temple was able to turn around. They knew they needed to get back into their base. They wanted to stall that out. The boss is here, marching away.
And that's every structure but the core taken down, with the exception of this one tower. Yeah, it's a rough spot still.
Yeah, the game will go on, but Tempo's back is 5, and they have no reason to let off the aggression.
Okay, many of the members of Tempo Storm back up. We are back even. A lot of the heroics are just about off cooldown. Of course, still the Avatar Willing Arrow. But do we need to see more plays like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a start, but there's still. I mean, it's 5 to 18 in terms of kills. They're still down to talent tier just barely. They're about to hit 16, which is a big deal for them.
They are showing, though, that they have the coordination.
Let's talk about this build very quickly, since he's such an uncommon hero. This is a very defensive build, kind of a bit hybrid. You could get amplified healing at level 4, but chew your food, just more health, and then last bite at level 7. So that's again just a little bit more about staying alive. Vile Cleaver, that's to give he gives way more damage output, but Gorge, we haven't seen a lot of Gorge lately.
Yeah, Gorge, they haven't really gotten a whole lot of use out of it. It's good at this point. They're using it to pull people out of the fight for a couple seconds, which that will have a great amount of effect. Hasn't really turned any of the fights around. Do we have that fishing hook? Yeah, I think it was. Yes,
it was used. Almost connected, and then indigestion, which is really kind of odd. The Wretchling.
Well, he doesn't have the greatest of options at that talent tier anymore. He has more or less Relentless.
But it's like just interesting to see this build, right? I don't know if I've seen that, and that is the kind of hooks you need to have. But look at the PLEYZ, the Haunting Wave, just barely enough, nicely timed by Zuna, and Steps. We're going to keep him alive. And look at the size of this push in top and middle.
Yes, that's a multiple sets of bruisers being pushed out. They are able to take out Arthlon in the backline on his KO, but has Zeus pushed out a little bit too far. Pirate Rum, they have so much damage being thrown down to the core. Tempo Storm, a little bit of a rocky finish. We're still able to take a very decisive victory.
When you have a lead like that, you can just kind of afford to be a little bit less coordinated. Just kind of slam your head on a rock, if you will, Kubi.
Going back to that. All right, though. Stitches was played.
Your cat is in full loaf position right now.
Yeah, I see that.
She's on a chair over there. Loafing.
Like you guys can see, right? Over there.
I'll take a picture and tweet it.
All right, so Stitches didn't quite pan out. I think that there was some potential there. Anytime they did land a hook on an impactful target, they were able to get the stuns to follow up. Even the pulls where they were on point. The hooks, the follow-ups, everything was good. They just found themselves at that early deficit, and it was so difficult to battle back from. Stitches kind of is a hero to battle back from a deficit like that.
He's good
like
for it. Once you hit 16 too,
you
can really bring yourself back into the game. But once you have all 3 keeps down, so hard. There's no coming back in a lot of situations, especially when you have promoted catapults marching down the lanes. It's just you're constantly on the defensive.
All right, and that is going to wrap up the winners semis.
So that leaves us with winners finals, which will be Tempo Storm versus the winner of Complexity and Cloud9 Maelstrom. And this means that we are going to have the PLEYZ falling to the loser side of the bracket versus it looks like Vortex or 2Arc. So whoever wins that series. At this point in time, really what we have to do is just kind of figure out the status on the other matches, see if there's anything we can hop into.
It may be a bit of time before we actually come back. There might be a break because
it depends on the timing of
the winners. The winners matches are going on right now, and actually I see that Dunk Train is in a lobby, Blinks as well. So, they're in a custom game. That might mean that they're in game 3. Complexity. It's been a while.
Sounds like
there's no way we casted through 2 full games.
Complexity
of Tempo.
Maelstrom.
Yeah, I think that went to game 3. So that's very interesting in itself. So we'll have to wait and see what the status is of the other matches. Let's see.
Vortex and 2 Arc, what's happening there? Are you looking at Sevron?
Matt Timmy's in a lobby right now.
Message him.
We might hop into Cap Wolves versus
It could be a bit of a delay, so we're going to figure this out, guys. Just going to go to a quick commercial break, and we'll be back as soon as we can with the next series. Stay tuned.